Happy Friday, Tigers. It's March 10th, 2023, and you're watching TigerVision News. I'm Seth.
And I'm Alexis.
This is a reminder that, as always, FCA and Teens for Christ will be meeting at the old gym for lunch today. Everyone is welcome.
Now, if you'll please join us for a moment of silence.
Would you please stand for our Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag? Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This broadcast is brought to you by Armstrong Bank, Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory, Fort Gibson Education Foundation, Green Country Lanes and Muskogee Skate Center, New Direction Dental and Sleep Care, Keith Hardware and Supply, Renfro Electric, Zomax School of Music, G&H Outdoor Services, Reaction Wraps, Tiger's Den, Tiny Tots Child Care Center, Bowden Pest Control, Compass Counseling Services, Dr. Debbie Coy and Dr. Kimberly DeRosset, Focus Health Solutions at Fort Gibson Medical Clinic, Fort Gibson Chiropractic, Michelle Mackey at Chenoweth & Cohen, Studio 918, and Walker Family Dentistry.
Prom tickets are now on sale. The cost for a ticket is $50 until March 27th, at which time it will increase to $70. See Miss Brannon for before or after school or during 5th hour to purchase your ticket.
If your name is on the holds list, you will need to clear all debts and returns overdue library books before you can purchase a ticket.
Today is the last day to donate to Pull-Ups and Wives for Fostering Hope Drive.
Please drop off any donations to Miss Deathridge, Miss Botcher, or the counselor's office as soon as possible, and thank you for your donations.
Fort Gibson varsity cheerleading and mascot tryouts are quickly approaching.
A required parent meeting will be Monday, March 20th at 6 p.m. Open gym will be Tuesday, March 21st at 6 p.m., and tryouts will be Friday, March 24th at 5 p.m.
You can pick up an application in the high school office or find more details in your school email.
Now is your chance to vote in the March Madness Book Tournament, where students decide the best book we hold in the library collection.
Please nominate your favorite book by Wednesday, March 15th.
Use the Google form that was sent to your email or find it in the library page on the school website.
The Sweet 16 will be announced soon after. Thanks for playing.
Well, Seth, I know I said I like rainy weather, but I've got to say it's getting a little old.
Nope, I prefer rain any day. Let's go to Luke to see what the weather will look like for spring break. Luke?
Hey Tigers! Today looks to be partly cloudy with a high in the upper 50s. Basically, the next 5 days look to be the same, with temperatures in the 50s and lows bouncing from mid-40s to lower 30s. We do have a 50-50 chance of storms and rain Saturday night. Speaking of Saturday night, don't forget to set your clocks forward an hour. We will be losing an hour of sleep due to daylight savings time. For spring break, a slight chance of precipitation on Thursday, but otherwise the week should be sunny and cool, temps in the upper 50s. Thanks to News on 6 for this week's weather graphics. We'll be right back after a word from one of our sponsors.
Family, it's bigger than bloodlines, stronger than DNA. It's the circle we draw around the people that matter, the people we care about and care for, the folks who inspire us, guide us, root for us. Family means finding common ground, rolling up our sleeves, and making our way side by side. Armstrong Bank. Strength runs in our family.
And now, let's find out what's going on here in the fort and around the world.
In the fort, as most of you may already know, a state record was extended by our Lady Tigers basketball team as they have appeared in the state tournament for a record of 19 consecutive years. This record is for both boys and girls and extends for all classifications. The next closest for the record is held by 3 teams with 14 appearances.
In the state, Edmonds Mitch Park is undergoing some renovations. Park officials for Mitch Park say the outer loop will be rebuilt and widened along with the inner loop and Coffee Creek. Renovations are said to kick off March 13th. Closure of those trails will happen during the work on each project phase, which is a $2.4 million project, broken up into completed in 2 phases.
In the nation, a nationwide shortage of the asthma medicine, albuterol, has been ongoing since last fall, and experts fear it's only expected to get worse. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration added it to the drug shortage list in late October. This shortage poses the greatest challenge for hospital settings, where it is used most commonly, but can be a problem for those that use this form of the drug at home.
In the world, a new way of sucking carbon dioxide from the air and storing it in the sea has been outlined by scientists. Direct air capture, or DAC, is a special type of technology which removes carbon dioxide from the air.
Climeworks, which is the company behind both the orca and mammoth plants, says the new facility will contain around 80 large blocks of fans and filters that suck in air and extract its carbon dioxide. This will then be mixed with water and injected underground, where a chemical reaction will turn it into rock.
Last week, Mr. Pemberton outlined a new attendance incentive program to help increase our state's report card grade.
Trey had a chance to get some specifics after the meeting. Trey, tell us more about it.
The narrative as we get 6 absences.
Our Fort Gibson High School administration team and faculty has been working together to develop an attendance incentive program for the 3rd trimester. This program incentives all high school students who make being in class a priority. Now, let's go to Mr. Pemberton to hear a little more about this new program.
Research shows that when kids are in school, they learn more and their outcomes for academic progress are better. So there's 2 ways of approaching this situation. One would be to pull back on the number of absences allowed, which we allow 18 during the school year with 6 each trimester, or, which that would be more on the punitive end, or we would have the opportunity to incentivize and hopefully make kids want to be at school. So we've come up with an attendance incentive program which incentivizes kids who are at school and are doing well in the classroom. And so we've defined absences as any reason a kid is gone from school other than a school-related activity. And so if a kid has, for example, the policy is going to state, or the practice will state, that if a kid has an A, they can miss up to 3 days during the trimester, a B, 2 days, a C, 1 day. And if they meet that criteria, they can exempt themselves from the trimester test for that hour. And kids that don't, that actually do make the criteria and still want to test because it would help their overall grade point average, then we'll let them do it and it won't affect them or their overall grade. So it can only help and it will not hurt their GPA or their overall class average. So those are some ideas that we have. We're going to put it into place and we're going to try it out this trimester and see if we can increase our attendance for the building and our overall report card grade, and more importantly, the learning outcomes for our kids.
The attendance incentive program is set to be implemented all 3 trimesters next year. I'm Trey Berry, reporting for TigerVision News.
Hey Tiger Nation, welcome to the Sports Report. Our girls basketball team traveled to the Class 4A state tournament this past Wednesday to compete against the Verdigris Cardinals. It was a close game, but the Cardinals tied the game and pulled out the victory in the last minutes of the game with a final of 43-39. Congratulations to our Lady Tigers for their successful season. Soccer traveled to Clinton last week and the Tigers lost 2-1. They hosted Oologah Monday and won 4-1, and Rogers on Tuesday and took the loss 2-0. On the Lady Tigers side, they defeated Clinton 2-1 in a shootout, lost to Oologah 1-0, and downed Will Rogers 5-0 here Tuesday. They will be back in action at Bethany after spring break. Our baseball team took on Muldrow Monday and Tuesday and had a run-ruled victory in both games 11-1 and 14-0. The guys were rained out yesterday against Berry Hill and play at Tahlequah today. They will head out to the Gulf Coast Classic next week. Good luck to all of our athletes. We'll be right back after a word from one of our sponsors.
The Fort Gibson Education Foundation is a foundation that strives for student and education growth. We put forth every effort to assist our school to be the highest quality education system in the state. We offer our students the opportunity to build and grow in a healthy school environment. All donations given to the foundation are put directly back into the classroom for teachers and students so we can give them as many opportunities as possible. The foundation, along with all of our students and teachers, thank you for your continued support. We are your Fort Gibson Education Foundation.
Our speech and debate team spent their weekend competing against some of the toughest 3A, 4A, 5A, and 6A speech and debate teams around the area.
Prelim competitors include Alexis Jones and Avery Lohman in duo, Chloe Hicknight and Mallory Bell in duo, and myself in original oratory.
Semifinalists include Addison Rouse and Easton Wicks, dramatic interpretation, and Aspen White, humorous interpretation.
Finalists include Emma Purdue in dramatic interpretation, Easton Wicks and Emma Purdue in duo, and Aspen White and Avery McDaniel in duo.
Congratulations to Emma Purdue and Easton Wicks for being named national qualifiers in duo.
They will head to nationals in Phoenix, Arizona this summer to compete against more than 300 teams from around the world. We wish them the best of luck. You remember that one day a few weeks ago where we didn't have dad jokes? I think that was the best day of my life.
They're not that bad.
Hey Dad, this one's for you. What's a dad joke, you ask? It's that grown-worthy, pun-laden, can't help but laugh type of humor that dads are best at delivering. Dad jokes are both beloved and despised, but what makes a dad joke different from a regular pun? I believe the signature of a dad joke is utterly uncool. So what's your favorite dad joke?
How does a moon get a haircut? He clips it.
This is the best dad joke that has been told to me. What did Spartacus think when his wife was killed and eaten by the lions? Nothing. He was a gladiator.
Those dads got jokes. After listening to that, I would come to the conclusion that I will now need a date to myself. I'll call it Sunday with an O. I'm Aidan Nava, and this has been Dad Jokes.
You know, the more dad jokes I hear, the more I'm ready to graduate.
Thank you for joining us in this week's edition of TigerVision News. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Seth. Have a great spring break, Tigers.
Are we going out?